Rico marched with them.
People from the colony of Puerto Rico marched with them.
When we talk about climate justice, we cannot forget to talk about colonization.
We cannot forget to talk about colonization.
Indigenous people in this country live in reservations now. Our histories are present. The challenge for this generation is to connect the dots. We cannot talk about climate justice without talking about occupation. Without talking about genocide. Without talking about ethnic cleansing. The war in Gaza was one-sided. 2 million people live in a prison. In an open-air prison. They don't have water. They don't have electricity. So when we talk about climate, and we build solidarity, we shouldn't talk in abstraction. Albert Camus once said, in his defense of French colonization of Algeria, because he was a freedom fighter. What he said was, what do you want me to do? If I have to choose between justice and my mother, I choose my mother. Our challenge is not to choose our mother, but to choose Earth. For the sake of our mother, and our father, and our children, and our families. We talk too much about Earth, and forget to talk about the oppressed, forget to talk about the poor, the most vulnerable. Our power is to be built together. The wall in Palestine is easy to take down. But it's the walls between us that keep us all colonized.